Nimbo was a small fluffy cloud, floating high above the green fields and blue rivers of India. He was white and soft, just like all the other little clouds in the big, wide sky. But, deep inside his fluffy heart, Nimbo carried a secret wish, a very special dream. He didn't just want to be white. Oh no, Nimbo dreamt of being colorful. He imagined himself painted in hues of the brightest red, the happiest yellow, and the deepest blue, dancing across the sky for everyone, all the good children and grown-ups, to see and feel happy. The other clouds, the big important-looking ones, were all very proud of their whiteness. They would gather in large groups, discussing serious cloud matters like how much rain to pour on the thirsty farms below, or which way the monsoon winds would blow them next across the great Indian plains. They all looked quite similar, grand and white, and seemed perfectly content with their cloudy existence, day in and day out. They never spoke of colors, except perhaps the gray of a stormy day, and certainly never dreamt of wearing them like a festival dress. Every evening, Nimbo would drift a little apart from the others, finding a quiet spot for himself. He would watch, absolutely mesmerized, as the sun dipped below the horizon, saying goodnight to the world. The sky would then explode into a breathtaking spectacle of colors, a true Diwali of light. Fiery oranges, gentle pinks like fresh lotus petals from the temple pond, and majestic purples would paint the vast canvas above. Oh, how wonderful, how truly amazing, Nimbo would whisper to himself, his little cloud body quivering with longing and pure delight. He wished, with all his might, that he could be a part of that beautiful daily magic. This yearning for color often made Nimbo feel a bit different, a little out of place among his plain white companions. While they were busy being serious and white, discussing the proper business of clouds, Nimbo's mind was filled with vibrant splashes and joyful patterns. He imagined himself not just as a water carrier, an important job for sure, but as an artist, using the sky as his drawing book, his very own canvas. He wanted to bring smiles to the faces of children looking up from their games, showing them that clouds could be more than just white puffs, so much more. One sunny morning, when the sky was a brilliant, clear blue, like a freshly washed sapphire, Nimbo gathered all his courage. He floated near a group of older, puffier clouds who were discussing the upcoming weather patterns with great seriousness. "Excuse me, sirs and madams," he said softly, his voice barely a whisper against the gentle morning wind. "I was just thinking, wouldn't it be lovely if we clouds could be colorful sometimes? Like the beautiful flowers in the Raja's gardens below? Or the bright dancing kites children fly during the spring festival?" He looked at them hopefully, his little heart fluttering like a trapped bird. A very large, rather grumpy-looking cloud, who considered himself quite important and wise in the ways of the sky, let out a rumbly laugh. It was not a kind laugh, it sounded like distant dry thunder. "Colorful?" he boomed, his voice making the air vibrate. "What a silly notion, little Nimbo. Utterly bakwas. Clouds are white. That is the way it has always been, and that is the way it will always be. Mark my words. We are here to bring rain and shade, vital for the land, not to be like some fancy dress parade in the sky. Stick to being a proper white cloud, young fellow, and forget these foolish ideas." Soon other clouds joined in the teasing, their voices swirling around poor Nimbo. "A colorful cloud, how funny. Did you hear that?" chuckled one, nudging his neighbor. "He must have spent too much time watching the painters in the village square, making their rangoli patterns," giggled another, a wispy young cloud who should have known better. Their laughter echoed around Nimbo, making him feel smaller and smaller, almost invisible. His fluffy edges began to droop, and the bright, happy colors in his dreams started to fade a little, like old paint. He had hoped they would understand, perhaps even share his wonderful idea for making the sky even more joyful. With a heavy heart, like a cloud full of unshed monsoon rain, Nimbo drifted away from the mocking crowd. Their words stung more than the sharpest hailstones from a sudden storm. "Maybe they are right," he sighed, a tiny water droplet trickling down his side like a tear from a sad eye. "Maybe dreams of color are just foolish for a little white cloud like me. Perhaps I should just try to be like everyone else." He looked at his own plain whiteness reflected in a still village pond far below, and a wave of deep sadness washed over him, making him feel very alone in the vast sky. Nimbo floated aimlessly, his spirit feeling as gray as a stormy sky, even though the sun was shining brightly all around. He felt so alone with his unusual dream, a dream that now seemed silly and impossible. Just as he was about to give up all hope, a magnificent arc of colors appeared, stretching gracefully across the sky. It was Raya, the rainbow, shimmering with all the colors Nimbo adored. Vibrant red like ripe mangoes, sunny orange like marigold flowers, cheerful yellow like turmeric spice, fresh green like new paddy fields, deep blue like Krishna's skin, thoughtful indigo, and majestic violet like Brinjal. She was the most beautiful thing Nimbo had ever seen. Raya noticed the small dejected cloud drifting nearby. "Namaste, little cloud," she said, her voice as soft and soothing as a light monsoon shower. "You seem to be carrying a heavy load of sadness today. The sky is such a vast and wonderful place, full of possibilities. Why the long face, little friend? Tell me what troubles your fluffy heart. Perhaps I can help you find your smile again." Nimbo, feeling a tiny spark of hope, poured out his story. He told her about his deep longing to be colorful, about his beautiful dreams of painting the sky with joy. He also shared how the other clouds had laughed at him, making him feel foolish and different. Raya listened patiently, her colors seeming to glow even brighter with empathy. When Nimbo finished, she smiled a warm, encouraging smile. "Oh, little Nimbo," Raya said, her voice full of warmth, "wanting to be colorful is not a silly dream at all. It is a truly wonderful one. It shows you have a big heart. Dreams are like tiny seeds, you see, full of promise. They hold immense potential, but sometimes they need a little bit of magic, a little bit of understanding, and a sprinkle of courage to help them sprout and blossom into reality." "The magic for colors in the sky, dear Nimbo," Raya continued, her voice like a gentle melody from a sitar, "is not so mysterious or difficult to find. It is made from two simple things you know very well, things that are part of you, sunshine and raindrops. When the golden light from the sun passes through tiny misty water droplets like the ones you carry inside you, it splits into all the beautiful colors you see in me. It's a dance of light and water, a natural wonder that happens all the time, a leela of nature." Nimbo's wispy form quivered with excitement, his sadness starting to lift like morning mist. Sunshine? He saw it every day, warming the earth. Raindrops? He was made of them. That was his very essence. A sudden, brilliant realization dawned on him, like the first ray of sun over the Himalayas. "You mean I have the magic inside me too?" he asked, his voice filled with newfound awe and a bubbling hope that felt like tiny, happy bubbles. "Can I really make colors, Raya? Just like you paint the sky after a good rain?" Raya chuckled, a sound like tinkling temple bells. "Of course you can, little one. You just need to learn how to let the sunshine dance through your raindrops at the perfect moment, with a little bit of practice and belief." That very evening, as the sun began its slow descent towards the western horizon, painting the sky with initial strokes of orange and pink, like a shy bride's dupatta, Nimbo felt a surge of courage. He remembered everything Raya had taught him, her kind words echoing in his mind. He positioned himself carefully, gathering his finest, mistiest raindrops, holding them just so, letting them hang gently in the air like a veil. Then he turned towards the setting sun, allowing its warm, golden rays to shine directly through him. And then it happened. A soft glow began to emanate from Nimbo. Then it intensified into beautiful, vibrant shades of red, orange, and a lovely violet. He was doing it! He was painting the sky! The other clouds, who had been watching curiously from a distance, grumbling amongst themselves, gasped in unison. Their rumbling voices fell silent. They had never seen anything like it in all their cloudy lives. Little Nimbo, the cloud they had teased for his silly dream, was now a breathtaking spectacle of colors, more beautiful than any sunset they had witnessed alone. He swirled and danced, leaving trails of soft color that blended with the evening light, making the whole sky sing with joy. They realized then that Nimbo's dream wasn't silly at all. It was a beautiful gift. Being different, they understood, could be truly wonderful and magical, and dreams, even for a small cloud, could indeed paint the whole sky for everyone to cherish.